This is the September, this is the August 26th special meeting. We got 3 items on the agenda. The first one is to continue the current sidewalk and roadway modifications that we've been doing for the outdoor dining for downtown New Canaan. Any discussion on that first?
No, so a group met virtually and discussed it, and so no real change to the existing accommodations that have been made for the various restaurants. But other than in the future, they may add tents and or heaters after approval by the fire department, fire marshal,
Okay.
and a building and all that stuff. So you're just approving a continuation of the existing
Correct.
outdoor dining. Nothing right now related to tents or heaters or anything like that. So that's a pending item that may occur in the fall.
Right, as the weather gets colder or something. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Right. So the current policy would just vote to continue the current policy would be what we're doing now. Do I hear a motion to approve that?
I would move to approve the current policy for another 30 days or.
Okay, great. Should I have a second?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that passed. Good. Number 2, to continue the road closure on Sunday mornings for Congregational Church at Park Street and God's Acre. And there's also a additional request to close it, I believe this Sunday afternoon, is that correct, Jennifer, or next Sunday afternoon for a church picnic?
I believe it was this Sunday, 5 until 6:30 p.m.
5 to 6:30. Thanks, John.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Yes, it's this Sunday.
All right. That's what I thought too, but I didn't want to pass the wrong one. So
That's correct.
Sunday is the 26th, 7, 8, 9, 29th?
30th.
30th, right. Monday's the 31st. Great. So with that, any discussion on that? Okay. Hearing none, let's a motion to approve for the road closure for Congregational Church to continue for another 30 days and an additional amendment for closure on Sunday the 30th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Yes.
I move that we approve.
Okay. Shikaiba,
Yep,
second?
I second.
Okay, all those in favor, aye. Aye. All right. Aye. All right, that passes. Number 3. Number 3 is a request from the New Canaan Crew team to close the formerly known area of the park called the Papa Park to traffic on either Saturday or possibly a Sunday, Eileen?
Yes, the date we'd
Right.
ideally like to do is Saturday, September 26th.
Okay. Got it. Let's have discussion on that. Jim, I know you want to
Right.
have some thoughts here as well.
Yeah, well, I fully support your team and the organization, but I don't like closing off streets for these kind of events because there are so many worthy causes and charities, sports teams, social groups, etc. That what I'm concerned about is setting a precedent that other groups come to us and then how do we say no and we have our roads closed frequently, which is an inconvenience for citizens. Now, I understand that this has already been done in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, we did this last year, and one of the reasons was because the nature of this event, which we've been running for about 20 years, involves bringing ergs into town, and it was blocking all of the sidewalk in front of the movie theater, which is where we used to do it. And so we moved it to that pop-up park area. It is just for those 3 hours on the Saturday morning from 8 to 11. And particularly this year with the sidewalks being used for restaurants was the thought as to why to try to go back to do it that way again.
Well, given that it's been done, I guess I wouldn't oppose it, but I would note for the record that I'm very concerned about setting a precedent that, many other worthy causes will come and say, we want to close off the street for our event and for our happening of whatever kind. So I would approve it with the caveat that I really, and maybe because of COVID this year, makes it a special case, that we could say it's not necessarily a precedent. But I just would like to note for the record that my concern about closing off streets for these kind of private events.
Okay.
With that said, I'll approve this because we've done it before and because this is a year we have the COVID situation with the sidewalks.
Okay, Shakeba,
Um,
thoughts?
Thoughts? I think it's a really great cause because I know that the high school, I feel like we should support the sports activities in our local public schools. So I know usually, wasn't this also part of the pop-up park to begin with? Because we used to close that area. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's right there on Elm and South,
Mm-hmm.
near the mobile station.
But did
basically.
we ever close it just for the crew team, just for them
Yes,
alone?
last year.
Oh,
We
we
did.
did just for them alone. Oh,
We
okay.
did last year. Yeah, we did last year. We ran the fundraiser there because it is our major fundraiser. Because unlike many of the other high school sports teams, we don't get any money from the booster club. So we don't have a booster club. So it's our main source of funding is this fundraiser that we run.
Right, and it's also a source of just informing people in town that we have a crew team. And I think people are just not aware of how successful this team effort has been. I mean, these kids have represented us on a national level. And they get taken on to major institutions, major colleges because of their activities on a crew team. It's not sponsored by the school. They're not getting any funds out of the athletic fund. So all the funds they have to raise, they raise independently. I've actually rode down there with that coach, the coach Jan and his team years ago, and they're just terrific. So I'm supportive of this as well. Effort. So that being said, so then the motion is to approve a request for the New Canaan crew team to close the area formerly known as the Pop-Up Park to traffic on Saturday, September 26th from the hours of 8 to 11. Is 8 to 11 enough, or do you need 7 to noon, or what do you need? Is that, Eileen?
I think last year we had 7 to noon. By the time we moved the equipment in and out, we run the fundraiser from 8 to 11.
Okay, why don't we do 7 to noon? That gives you plenty of time to set up and take down, and then everybody will be informed. And then John, if you make sure that everybody, like the fire department, everybody else knows, ambulance corps knows what we're going to do, that'd be
And
great.
the merchants.
And the merchants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they need town approval through Tom Stadler / Tucker Murphy with insurances and all that stuff, or are they exempt from all that?
I don't think they are exempt from that. I think they still need to be on the town calendar. And if you could, Eileen, if you would run that past.
Right. I spoke to Tucker and I spoke to the Chamber of Commerce, and then they basically said once I got approval from the police commission to go back and make sure it was on the town calendar.
Okay, and if you can make it subject to the approval and all the, insurance and usual requests that the town needs. If you would just follow up on that, that'd be great. Okay.
Okay, I will do. Yeah, I have all that paperwork.
Yeah, it's the same as last year. It's the same
Right.
as you've always done. Okay.
Okay.
Did
All
you
right.
use any, did you need any town barricades, or how did you barricade it off?
So last year we did have a couple of barricades. We also we have a trailer, a New Canaan crew trailer. So what we did to make sure that we had no issues with cars is I think we had 2 barricades on each side, but we put the crew trailer on one side, and then we actually put a racing shell on the other side. So there was no way any car could mistake it and get through. But we do need the barricades.
Good. Okay. Well, if you could coordinate that with Tiger as well. You'll know what to do. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay. Second.
I second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
And Eileen, this is September 26th, right?
September
September
26th, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
7 to noon.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Eileen. You can stay for
Terrific,
the.
thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Right. And then one other little item of new business, if we could. Chicago, you want to address this just on bikes going to the schools?
Sure. I got tagged on the Facebook group page, New Canaan Bikes. And basically the question was, now that a lot of people are opting out of having their children take the school bus, so they're thinking there's going to be a lot more kids biking to school, especially to South Saxon, the high school. And they wanted to know, what is the town doing regarding the extra kids? Is there going to be bike lanes? Is there going to be extra officers at intersections or secure, or, you know, crossing guards or anything like that?
Great. And John, you were working on that, right? You're coordinating
Yeah,
that with the schools.
Yep, I've met with all the school principals. We've come up with a plan for each school. Some schools are going to be more difficult than others. West School, for example, has got some challenges, given that there's no good way to divert traffic on Conus. But for the South School, Sac School, High School, we are planning on hiring extra officers for at least the first 2 weeks of school. We are going to put them at key intersections to help alleviate the traffic and also help cross pedestrians and bikers. We aren't going to create new bike lanes. That's not really something that we can really do. But given that South Ave is a pretty wide road with a pretty good shoulder, there should be ability to safely travel on bikes. But we are going to have extra officers, and the officers that are SROs at the high school and at SACs are going to be doing traffic specifically in the morning to assist getting all the kids into school safely. So we are very well aware that this is going to be challenging traffic-wise, and we are preparing for it as best we can. The good news, as I did say in my email today, is that the schools are going to start on a 50% capacity in 2 cohorts for at least the first month. So that'll give time for everybody to get used to getting back. Because quite honestly, you know, nobody's had to really sit in traffic for 6 months now. So this is going to be kind of a shock for everyone to get back to what was normally a heavy traffic time. But we are anticipating it's going to be a challenge, and we are going to try to adjust as best as possible.
Great. Yeah, I saw your email and I saw the chart you put together, so that's helpful. It's in
And
your.
Yeah, and one other thing, I did
Yep.
get an email from Chris Herring, and he was requesting crossing guards at Old Stanford and Gower and Old Stanford and Farm. That's not something that we have budgeted for. That would be adding 2 new employees to the police department. The current crossing guards are police department employees. So I did tell Chris, if the Board of Ed is willing to hire more staff, they want to hire 2 more school monitors and use them as crossing guards in the mornings, we will certainly help train them and get them up to speed to cover those areas. But we haven't really had a demonstrated need in those 2 locations yet. Now, with this year, it could be very different, but in years past, we haven't had a real demonstrated need to hire crossing guards for those 2 locations. And quite honestly, it's hard to find crossing guards. It's not a full-time job; it's a part-time job, so it's difficult to find good people and reliable people to do that. So we have not hired, we have not budgeted to hire for those locations, but you know, if the Board of Ed desires to have it and is willing to hire crossing guards, we would certainly assist with any training involved and get them up to speed.
Great. Okay. Agreed. And the traffic at that time in that area is very slow anyway, because it gets jammed up pretty far back, so.
It is slow, and quite honestly, people do get impatient. So I am concerned about
Yeah.
bike safety, and people, try to get to where they're going as fast as they can, even in traffic. So I am a little concerned about having extra kids on bikes. The walkers should be okay because there's plenty of sidewalks and
Yeah.
plenty of space on the shoulders for kids to walk. There is safe routes for them to get to and from. And we will monitor, especially that Old Stanford and Gower area, because Old Stanford can get some high speeds in the morning. So, we'll watch that and see if we need to staff that with some extra personnel as well.
Okay, great.
Are the kids still prohibited from biking on sidewalks like everybody else?
Technically speaking, they shouldn't be. If you're riding a bike, you should be riding on the road with traffic. That being said, and additionally, there's probably going to be a lot more pedestrian traffic on the sidewalk. So I don't think it's probably a good idea to encourage them to ride on the sidewalk. I think that would be a challenge for everybody. That'd probably make things a little bit worse.
Mm.
Right. Okay, well, it sounds like you're
Right.
very prepared here, so that's, hopefully that will help the other New Canaan moms know that we've given it a lot of thought and preparation.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for all that information. I'll see,
Yeah, if you
I'll
can
answer
forward
them
that.
back.
All right, that's on you.
Yes, social media.
We love it.
I'll
And
just
one
say,
thing-
I'm sorry, I just tell them
You
that,
wanna-
don't
you wanna
worry,
run-
John is on it.
That's right.
Well, one
just-
thing, we're gonna adapt as the days go. We're gonna
Sure.
see Monday how it goes. If we need to pivot in some way and cover something differently, we know this is very fluid and this could change on any day. And by Thursday, we could be all doing school virtually. We've become accustomed to changing on the fly. So we have nothing written in stone, but so we're prepared for the unexpected, and we will adapt if we have to anything.
Excellent.
This
All
could
right,
be a hot topic, obviously, for some parents. Would it make sense to coordinate, Shakaya, with John and, whatever writing you're going to send out and make sure that you guys are all on the same page?
This should ideally come from the schools. Quite honestly, the schools should encourage people how to get to school safely and the best routes to come to. And I have been working closely with the principals, and they are putting messages out. East School, for example, we're trying to encourage all parents to come into East School from Silver Mine Road so we can keep the buses clear and not get the buses tied up in the parents' traffic. So we are working closely with the principals, and I think the best avenue and best venue to get the word out to all of the parents is through the principals.
Good. That way it's
Yeah.
all the same message. All right, that's great. Okay.
Great.
All right, any other topics to discuss? New business? Nope. Okay, so let's have a motion to close the meeting at 6:29.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Bye.
Thank you.
And
Have a
our
good
next
night.
meeting, I guess, will be on September can't see my calendar, 16th, is it?
Yes, September 16th.
All right. I'll make sure to fix my difficulties. Because what happens is I can't click on the Zoom meeting at the commissioner's email. So I have to forward myself the email and my personal email in order to be able to get into Zoom.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah. but- Well, great. Well, hopefully, next month we just come in here and we can sit. and
Oh,
look at-
that'd be nice.
Can we social distance in that room?
Yeah, that's huge.
It's a big room.
We can all sit in here.
Oh, fabulous.
Well, the three of us, and then, the chief can, be down the hall, and John, John, we may force you to come just to see you.
Well, I
Just kidding, John.
approve that. I think I should do that. It gets me out of the house and no technical
You want to
difficulties.
get out of the house at 6:00, believe me.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Right.
night.
Thanks,
Let's see.
everybody.
Good night.
Thanks, bye.
Good night.